Hello, Internet. So yeah, I'm here to talk about the second book I read this week off my pull list, Uncanny X-Men number 24, where we get a partial reading of the will and Last Testament of Charles Xavier. And man, I gotta say, I did not see that coming, but it does explain some stuff. So yeah, let's get started. So we start off with, She-Hulk in the office with everybody still, Beast Storm, or not everybody, but Beast Storm and Iceman. And then, Iceman sitting there and he's like, you know what? Charles Xavier died and we just didn't even, blink an eye. We've just been going on in our daily routine and he just fly, ice skis away or whatever. And then, She-Hulk's there and she's like, yeah, so, Scott Summers, you guys know where he's at? And then Beast is like, of course I know where he's at. I've got, mutant finding technology Cerebro, so I just used it to find people who would be hiding from it, and then I knew where I was, but I didn't want to be that guy that just, is completely obsessed and becomes Cyclops trying to find him. So I was like, whatever, Cyclops, I don't care about you, Scott. Ugh. And then, Firestar and Nightcrawler peek through the door, and they're like, what's going on here? And then, Nightcrawler gets a bit flirty with the She-Hulk. It's pretty funny. And then, let's see. Oh, okay. And then Storm's like, did anybody else know that Beast knew where Scott was? And then Rachel Gray's like, well, I knew, but I'm psychic and I'm nosy, so yeah, not my fault. And then, let's see. Oh, yeah, they're like, oh, so is that his, or, Firestar and Nightcrawler like, so what's that? And then She-Hulk's like, it's Charles Xavier's will. And then they're like, read it. And and then she's explaining that she carried it into the people that need to be there are present. And then Logan's there and he's like, and Storm's like, oh, where you been, Logan? And he's like, where I go. And then he tells him that he actually signed the rights to the Ginger School back to Xavier because, a while back, I think it was in actually I'm not sure if it was in Wolverine and X-Men, but yeah, he says he did that. And then, yeah. And then they're still talking about, okay, well, we need to find Cyclops, blah, 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 blah. And then, oh yeah, and then Beast tells him where he's at. And then it's funny because Wolverine's reaction to where he's at is exactly like what Cyclops said in the first, the second or third issue when when they go to Weapon X to make, or the new junior school with all the new students, and he's like, yeah, this is the last place I ever look. And then yeah, Wolverine's like, oh, that's the last place I'd look. He got me. Or yeah. But yeah, then it cuts to the next scene where we're back in Newberry, South Carolina with the dude who had his power manifestation. And then it's interesting because last issue, it didn't seem like it was as devastating as it is in this issue, where you have this panel where it's just zoomed out and this just giant crater around the guy, and he's just looking around. And then there's this this drone rover thing that has this shield emblem and the hologram popping out, and it's Maria Hill, and she's all trying to talk to the dude, but he's all freaking out what happened to me? What's going on? And yeah, and freaking out, and she's trying to calm him down and be like, so do you have a power? Right, you're a mutant. Are you a mutant? And then he just is freaking out the whole time and kind of out of his wits. And then some shield soldier henchman, whatever, in some exoskeleton looking things approach him, but then he has another freak out power manifestation, and then the scene cuts back to Maria Hill, and I'm guessing a helicarrier, and all the screens are fuzzy, and it's oh, and she's uh-oh. And then the people there that are monitoring it are yeah, we just lost all the agents on the ground and all life forms are gone. And it cuts back to the he says what his name is. It's yeah, I just remember that. Matthew something with an M. Matthew Malloy, that's his name. And then yeah, the last panel of this scene is basically him going, what am I? And yeah, just looking around. And then we cut to New Xavier School in the Blackbird's Landing, and then so you have Team Uncanny, which is First Class X-Men, the new students that have been training under Scott, and then Emma, Magic, Kitty, and Dazzler. Oh wait, no, is Dazzler? Yeah, yeah, Dazzler's there. Oh, yeah, she has her new outfit as well from the last issue, which is complete. Yeah, it's you have to see it. Essentially, it's like yeah, or just look it up on the internet because from the last issue I thought she was just gonna cut her hair with the scissors, but went way overboard. Let's just say that, or not way overboard, just like way more, yeah, stuff done than hair. So they land and they're like, okay, where's Scott? It's important. We need to talk to him. And then they find him and then they talk to him about, we need you to be at the reading of this will. And at first he's like, oh, I'm not gonna go. I don't want anything that he's gonna. I don't want any part of this. I don't want anything that Xavier's gonna gift me in the will. Blah blah blah. But then he changes his mind and then he's like, or he says, okay, well, I'm gonna go. No students are going to follow me. And then, so Cyclops, Emma, Magic, Kitty, and Dazzler go, and then they leave behind all the new, the new students and first class X-Men. And so and it cuts back to the Jean Grey school, and She-Hulk's there. And then she's like, okay. And this scene is just like a bombshell, because it was crazy because I was reading it. I was like, what? Like, after I got to the end of the sentence. So, okay, here's what she says. She says, okay, actually, I'll put this panel in here. But yeah, she says, okay, I, Charles Francis Xavier, of the town of Salem Center, county of Westchester, and state of New York, being of sound mind and memory, do hereby make public, or do hereby make, publish, and declare this to be my last will and testament, hereby renounce all wills and codicils or whatever previously made by me. I declare that I am married as of the date of this will, and that my wife's name is Raven Darkholm. And I was like, what? After I read that, I was like, what? And then the next panel is essentially all the X-Men in the room reacting and like having these priceless expressions on their face. and then you have She-Hulk continues to read it. And then she says, I further declare that I have. And then Kitty Pryde interrupts, and she's like, wait, what? And then She-Hulk says, Raven Darkholm. How do I know that name? And then Emma just like burst out laughing. She's like, ha, fantastic. And then Cyclops is like, Emma. And then Emma says, that is the best thing I've heard. Oh my god. He married Mystique. And then Dazzler's like, oh my god. And then Kitty's like, is this real? And then B says, wait, what is that? It was just, yeah, this was like so insane when it happened. I was like, what? No way. But then it explains the whole, where Xavier from the future came from, and how he was, because in that scene when he's in the future, or like in that future, like they have that scene where, it has a shape-shifting, or it has, what's her name? The McTaggart lady. That lady, I can't remember her name. Mora? Anyway, her from, that island, Muir Island. She's giving birth to a baby, but then you see that later on, after the doctors take the baby away, because she says, I don't want the baby, she changes form into Mystique, and it's like, oh crap, it's Mystique, like, what the F? Like, how did she have Xavier's baby? And then it's like, now we see why, because they were married, which is crazy, but whatever. That was weird. That was crazy. I was like, well, yeah. I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't see this coming, so I was wondering, like, what was up with that, as far as, like, Mystique and, Charles, like, Charles having a baby. But then it's weird, because, like, Ray's was, like, Mystique's and Wolverine's son, so it's like, what? Super weird stuff going on. Anyway, that happens, and then, so after Beast says, wait, what is that? There's like some little emblem, or like some little thingy, There's this, device, I guess. They don't know what it is. It's like, yeah, they're like, what is this thing? And then She-Hulk's like, yes, it was in with the will. What is this? And then, Beast is like, it looks Shi'ar. And then, she pushes down on it, and it makes this hologram, and it has Charles Xavier there, and he's just like talking to them through the hologram. He's like, yeah, if you're watching this, then I died, and then blah 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 blah. But then he's like, so but as you all know, there have been. Oh wait, no. He says there was essentially he's like, okay, there's this mutant that I had to make a compromise, and yeah, because they were gonna endanger the peace between mutants and humans, and then he's essentially gonna continue the story in the next issue because he's getting to that point or getting to that part, and he's like, this is my darkest secret, blah blah blah. But then it's like ellipsis to be continued, and it's like, oh, what's the secret with this mutant? Is it the mutant that we're seeing now? Probably not. We'll see. I don't know. My money's on it. Probably isn't, but it could be. But yeah, I kind of doubt it. It just doesn't seem to match up because like the age of that mutant and like if you look at the previous issue when the Skrull showed up, and then like did they have the power manifestation then, or was it later on? I think it was later on. I don't remember, but yeah, we'll see. I could be wrong. I could be right. I think it's a different mutant than the one that they're showing, but I guess it would make sense because he shows up on the scene as this is happening. So, but yeah, that was Uncanny X-Men 24, and yeah, I did enjoy it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Comixology. So, on their scale, I would go into like the whole like what that scale means to me and like why, but it's like it's just don't worry about it. Like what I give it doesn't matter. Like if you read it, you're probably gonna like you might think something, you might think the same, you might think different. It doesn't really matter. So it's like for me this issue was a 4. For you, it could be something completely different. It doesn't really matter. So, but yeah, still loving Uncanny X-Men, and that was just crazy with the whole Xavier Mystique thing, and Reminder. I mean, wow, I got it wrong twice. The writer, by Michael Bendis. Jeez, you and your shenanigans and the X-Men. But yeah, that was pretty funny. I gotta say that was pretty funny. Didn't see it coming. I enjoyed it. But yeah, so I guess we'll see next issue what happens with the mutant that is at large and how they have to deal with them, or do we even get to the bottom of who inherits the junior school and all this other stuff, or is it just gonna like skip all over that and then be like, oh, what is this mutant? It's like that's like, I guess that's like one kind of annoying thing was like the will. I was like hoping that it would all come out, but it's of course it's not. So gotta wait till the next issue, and hopefully in the next issue it'll all be out. But we'll see. So yeah. Oh, also this week I've been doing things a bit different, so this is gonna be its own thing. And like each issue I read is going to be its own thing, so you don't have to worry about watching a whole video of me talking about crap. I mean, sorry, other stuff. If you just want to like hear me talk about one issue or whatever. So yeah, this is Uncanny X-Men. I just did Uncanny Avengers before this. And I think next up I will do X-Men, and then I'll be done with all my X-Men books for the week, and then I'll start reading New Avengers, Justice League, and then Cyclops Slash, just because yeah. That's the one I got the most, not sure where this is going. So yeah, that's it for this video. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends, or not, that's cool too. And until you see or hear from me again, thanks for listening and watching, and I'm now signing off.